I think there's a concern that she's taken the endorsement and the support of the Koch brothers. They're not really mainstream Republicans. They're libertarian. I don't think it's a personal issue, but I think it's a policy issue.
That's former presidential candidate Mike Huckabee on the program talking about the civil war right now in the GOP over Nikki Haley. Haley has momentum, and that's something that scares Trump world. In fact, the former president has a new ad out attacking Haley. We'll get to that in a minute. Here's her reaction.
President Trump's giving me some attention these days. I'm kind of flattered. I'm flattered because I know he sees what we're seeing, and that means we're surging.
Fair enough. She is surging. Her meteoric rise started in New Hampshire after Governor Chris Sununu endorsed her for president. Polling average from our partners at DDHQ shows she's the clear second choice in the Granite State, trailing Donald Trump by 17 percentage points. Individual polls put her a lot closer. Governor Sununu is with us now. So call it 17 points, call it 12 points, 15 points in about 19 days until the primary, Governor. What has to happen for Nikki Haley to win New Hampshire?
Nikki has to keep doing what she's doing, which is the retail politics, engaging with people one-on-one, talking about policies that decentralize government, that drain the swamp, all these things we heard about that Trump was going to do. And he had some good policy ideas, but that's yesterday's news. And we're Republicans. We're always going to look to the next generation, future generation leadership. So what she's doing is working. And 3 weeks is actually a lifetime in New Hampshire politics. A lot can happen there. I think John McCain was back by 7 or 8 points. He won by 20 or whatever it was in New Hampshire years ago. So, I mean, when you look at what can happen in this last month, it's all right there. And Trump isn't going up. No one is saying, you know what, I've changed my mind. I'm now back on the Trump. No, everything is going in Nikki's direction. I think there's going to be consolidation with DeSantis, a lot of Christie voters coming on board. So Trump knows he's in trouble. That's why he's trying to chip at her a little bit. But again, I just think New Hampshire, as we have traditionally been, is a big reset button for the whole country. It's all about making folks realize that Trump as the nominee is not inevitable. It's not what the mainstream media has told us. It really is about good campaigning. And from here, Nikki goes back to her home state of South Carolina, and she definitely knows how to win there. So there's a lot of opportunity here.
You made the point about Chris Christie, who is the never Trump candidate, right? And he talks about how that is so important for him to be in the race. But he's also taking a pretty sizable amount of voters who we know from polling would be Haley voters, but for Chris Christie. He was asked about that this morning on the Hugh Hewitt radio show. Take a listen.
You're staying in. I'm not the View. You're not going to put this over on me. You're staying in the primary undeniably helps Donald Trump get the election, doesn't it?
No, it doesn't. The fact is that we're going out. We're the only one running against Donald Trump.
It'd make it a lot easier to win New Hampshire if Chris Christie dropped out, wouldn't it?
Of course. No, there's no doubt about it. There's one person that really wants Chris Christie to stay in this race, Donald Trump. I mean, that's just it. So I think Chris has run a good race. He's a smart guy. He's a good candidate. He kind of had that singular strategy of attacking Trump. And again, telling the truth on Trump and hitting Trump hard, it just hasn't translated to the votes, right? And we always knew that was a risk. And I think even Chris would acknowledge that was a long shot from the very, very beginning. I mean, when you have 12 candidates in the race, every candidate is technically a long shot. So it shouldn't be a surprise that his race is coming to an end. I think Chris has an amazing opportunity to be, as I say, be the hero, right? To really be the one that helps Nikki get over the top, to help deliver Trump the loss that Chris has been trying to deliver for a while, and he can take a lot of credit for that. So he's a smart guy. I think he's gonna come around at the end. I know his voters are already. If you look at some of the latest polls, the singular polls, not just the averages, the latest polls day by day, the Christie voters are coming. There's just no question about that, because folks want it to be a one-on-one race, and it is. It's Trump versus Haley at this point, these are like I said, good candidates, but everyone's consolidating at this time, and obviously it'd be easier if these guys got out, but that's a decision for them to make.
Before New Hampshire is Iowa. It's different. It's a different electorate. And Nikki Haley said something in New Hampshire about Iowa that I think at least deserves a little bit of attention. Take a listen.
You know Iowa starts it. You know that you correct it. You know that you continue to go.
If she's going to be the consensus big tent candidate, I get ignoring Iowa maybe and instead going to the border or going to Israel or going to somewhere else. But why insult it?
Oh, come on. I think she was making a little joke to the crowd. It was kind of funny.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.